Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today at Oshode Health and Fitness. Health, wellness, and fitness tips and resources. Today, we will be discussing deadlifts, more specifically, conventional deadlifts. We're going to make sure that we talk about the different topics as far as how to maximize utilization of all the muscles when deadlifting, as well as injury prevention and how to make sure that you're deadlifting with safe and proper form and technique to really help push you and progress you along your fitness journey. So come on in, we're going to start off with some demonstrations and move forward with some of the details. When talking about foot placement, we have to make sure that regardless of what we're doing, we have one side that meets the other side as far as relationship goes and relationship orientation to the bar. We want to make it directly centered regardless of if we're wide, close, or even closer. All right. What I like to go with a safe bet of what's comfortable for me, which is a bit closer. All right, I like to get right here. It looks maybe about 7 to 8 inches apart, but it's all different for everybody. Everybody does not have the same comfort level. My general rule of thumb is to go with what you feel comfortable jumping. If you're running and you're coming to a place where you're about to jump, where will your foot be? What's the distance? That's about more or less where you want to position your feet. I've heard that in the past, and it's something that's stuck with me for years now. It's been my favorite part as far as starting off with the deadlift. Foot placement is so important, it's so critical to really maximizing your overall potential. Once you've got your foot placement, next placement is the hand placement. I like and I coach hands directly outside your feet, the outsidemost part of your feet, all right? So depending on where your feet go, it depends on where your hands go, all right? With conventional deadlifting, my coaching tip is have the hands directly outside your feet, maximizing full utilization, all right? As far as hand placement goes. As far as hand orientation for the deadlift, there's about 3 different positionings. The first one is double overhand grip. The second one is switch grip, so you can have either the left underhand or the left or the right underhand. All right, these are both switch grip, depending on what you feel most comfortable. And the third grip is the hook grip, when you hook the thumbs under all 5. All right. This is my favorite one to utilize, especially during all my warm-ups, the double overhand. I use the switch grip once I start getting to my max weight or close to my max, anywhere from maybe 68% and better or to 100% of my 1 rep max. That's when I use the switch grip, and then I may tend to add chalk as well. I don't ever use the hook grip, but there's many beliefs that it does increase your deadlift by 10%. That's more for power lifters and possibly bodybuilders, but for the general population, you want to use this. And once you start maxing out and getting real close to your 1 rep max, then you can start implementing the switch grip. The start position for the conventional deadlift is very important. It's important because it gets you in a perfect position to maximize all your muscle usage that you will be using in order to move weight, and it's also important in injury prevention, all right? So making sure you're in a proper, perfect starting position is ideal. For different people, there's different kind of positionings regarding the relationship and the ratio as far as you'll see. Proper starting position, it's all about the orientation, all right, of the angle at the hips. You want to make sure that you're getting just about an L position where your shins can touch the bar. They don't have to be, but if they are, that's perfectly fine. Coming here, and now engaging the chest and shoulders, all right? So again, making sure you're in this position, in L position, all right? So you want to make sure that your shoulders are literally just above the bar. Now again, for different people, it can mean sitting here like this, it can be here like this. But as far as the start position, you want to make sure that your shoulders are above your hips, your shoulders are close or directly above the bar as much as possible, and that you're in kind of like a shifted or a rotated L position. And you can see that L position right here. All right, get comfortable. Now to demonstrate the start position from a front viewing. Don't cave the knees in, don't push out, literally right here. Now we're going to take a look at the back view start position. Make sure those hips are even. A lot of times people are like this, like that. You have one knee out here. You want hips even. When performing the conventional deadlift, chest, shoulders, and back placement are very important. You'll always hear my cues, chest up, shoulders back. But chest up, shoulders back is relative. It's not as far as like moving it. It's more about the muscle engagement and making sure that you're fully activated in specific areas. All right? So in preparation for the deadlift, you want to make sure, you absolutely have to make sure that your upper body is just as fully engaged and ready to go as your lower body. So my cue as far as chest up, shoulders back, once you're down here, it's chest up, shoulders back. All right? Fully ready to deadlift. Again. Now, you can try to squeeze your shoulder blades to touch one another. That's fine. Fully activated still. Different cue. Still the same thing, all right? Making sure fully activated. Here is not fully activated. It looks activated until you put me in this position, all right? So chest up, shoulders back is a cue to help avoid this rounded arch positioning. This is no good. This is better, but it's not as good. This is fully best. Now again, you have some people, depending on the height, depending on the length of their limbs, chest up, shoulders back can also be more crouched over and here. You see, my position was here, but this is also the same thing. And sometimes you have people that sit a little bit lower into it. All right? Chest up, shoulders back. All of these positions are right depending on who you are and depending on what you want to get done and your unique traits to your body. The end position is just as important as the start position as far as when you're talking about full muscle activation and utilization, but also in injury prevention. A lot of times people don't fully complete a deadlift, which can bring about issues over time. So we want to make sure we're avoiding those injuries as much as we can, and also make sure we're getting full utilization of all the muscles of the deadlift positioning and movement. End position. This is how you want to finish off your deadlift. Strong posterior chain, strong core. All right? Everything is aligned straight. The knees are not locked out. However, they are straight. All right? They're not hyperextended. Chest is up, the shoulders are back, the glutes are fully activated, your entire body is fully activated. A lot of times people end position as such, which is incorrect. 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 All right? Incorrect. Here is correct form. Here is how you want to finish your deadlift. You want to squeeze the glutes a little bit, that's fine. Squeeze them a little bit. Don't squeeze them too much that you push yourself forward. Stand right here, chest up, shoulders back. Nice, strong, protecting your core. Movement for the deadlift is very important. And if you guess for injury prevention, you guessed absolutely right. But in addition to injury prevention, also for full utilization of the muscles and maximizing the benefits of a proper functioning conventional deadlift. So the movement pattern is absolutely important. So let's get in proper positioning and get the movement down right. We'll break it down a little bit. We've already run over a couple of things. Movement now. You kind of want the movement to be the hips and shoulders to move together in unison so that by the time you get to the top, they've actually reached its top point at the same time. All right, so I'll demonstrate. I'll slow it down. Make sure you're squeezing the glutes, activating the chest, the shoulders back, and as you stand up, you're driving everything up. You're squeezing. As you're pulling up, you're utilizing your hamstrings to pull the weight up. And then as you get to a certain point, you start using your quads to push the weight up. Your shoulders are moving along with your hips the entirety of the time. So just make sure you don't want to try to come here and like this. You don't want to come here and then stand it up like this. You want to make sure, boom, boom, boom. There you go. How the body moves from the front and the back view are just as important how the body moves from the lateral view. So you've seen some examples of lateral view movement. Now it's time for you to understand that viewing from the front, viewing from the back, it's also about positioning. For front side view deadlifts, I'm going to demonstrate, and you're going to notice that my knees are not caving in or pushing out. They're staying right in line. Keeping those glutes activated are important for making sure that those knees are in control and moving in a straight manner or a line. All right? That was front view. Now the back view. A lot of times people tend to bend their arms a little bit as they deadlift, and they think that bending the arms is going to help them get up the weight. You don't ever, when you're deadlifting, you don't ever want to have bent arms. Bent arms can cause some severe injuries, including the torn bicep. You don't want that. So the whole time, the arms are literally kind of like a fishing rod, right? The string of a fishing rod. You don't grab the rod and try to pull from the rod. No, you have that coil. Your body is the coil. These muscles right here, this is literally just a string attached, all right? So all it's doing is holding onto that bar. Hold on to that bar for dear life. That's all these muscles are doing. That's what these muscles are here for. There's no bending whatsoever of the arms during the deadlift. Keep it straight. Breathing technique is also very important for the deadlifts, as you guessed it, for proper form and injury prevention, but also for the maximization and utilization of the muscles, especially of your core abdominal muscles. But it also protects your spine, all right, and your vertebrae from injury. So making sure that you're using the proper deadlifting techniques. Now, there's two separate cues that I like to use, or two separate ways to approach the breathing cues. All right, now again, there's other cues out there, there's other ways to do it, but for me, the way that I train my clients and the way that I maximize injury prevention and maximize utilization and improve strength without injuries, this is how we do it. Here, at Oshode Health Fitness. All right. So one way is once you're fully in position, take that deep inhale in through your nose. All right. Now again, you're gonna take a look. You're gonna be able to possibly see, maybe not, but when I take that deep inhale, you see the difference in how my body shifts a little bit from completely inhaled and ready to go and engage till empty with air. All right. So inhale before you deadlift. Exhale as you pull it out, as you push it up. All right. So deep inhale. The other cue, now, if you got an idea, you can see that I kind of reset every single time, right? The other cue is when you go and tap and go, tap and go, tap and go. Now, you want to make sure if you're going to do tap and go for endurance building purposes, for hypertrophy, that you're utilizing that inhale, exhale mechanism, all right? So generally speaking, you want to have a strong exhale, controlled exhale on the way down, a controlled inhale on the way down, still keeping your body stiff. Stop that exhale when the weight hits, and then, stop the inhale when the weight hits, and then exhale right back. Whew, I'm fumbling my words. Don't you worry, we're not demonstrating, ain't no fumbling that demonstration. So you're gonna see tap and go, touch and go, however you wanna call it. All right, first one. Right? So you can see, as I was lowering the weight, I was making sure I collected my breath with a deep inhale. As I'm lifting up, strong exhale. That's to make sure that we avoid injury, we keep the utilization of those muscles, and we're keeping our tight core, and we also make sure that we're not getting lightheaded. There's videos out there where you see people just holding their breath, trying to utilize a whole bunch of weights or utilize all of these muscles, and then they may end up falling out after deadlift. You want to avoid that, all right? Because there's no telling where you're going to fall around, all right? Make sure you're breathing, utilizing those inhale, exhale. Always inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. The most easiest way I teach my clients is exhale on exertion of force, all right? EX, EX. Exhale, exertion. When I say exertion of force, we're talking about when is your body working, all right, versus when it's in more of a relaxed state, all right? Your body's working to pick that weight up, and it's in a quote-unquote more relaxed state, or antagonist, of that exertion of force when we're talking about the deadlift, all right? So when you're lifting that weight up, that's exertion of force. That's when you want to exhale. Exhale on the exertion of force, all right? You want the deadlift motion to be so smooth going up and down during the ascension and the descension that you can't even tell whether you're going forward or the video's in reverse. Take a look at that timer. Just a few more seconds here, then we'll get into the application to the light and heavy loads. In closing, you've just learned so much more valuable information about the conventional deadlifts. To start, we went with the perfect form demonstration so that you can see how the conventional deadlift should look without any audio. Then we move forward and we discuss foot placement and how we got to make sure one side matches the other for evenness and making sure we avoid injury. We talked about hand placement and the orientation, as well as how it's related to the foot placement. So it's making sure that we combine both of those, the hand placement and the foot placement together, to make sure that we're maximizing our deadlifts. We covered the start position from all views, the back view, the lateral view, and the front view. We covered the end position from those same three views. We also went and did the movement patterns when you're coming up and down in those deadlifts. We went over the role of the arms and what role they should be playing when in the deadlift, to make sure don't move the arms. Arms never bend at all. We covered breathing technique. That's important. You want to get stronger with the deadlift, you're going to have to learn how to breathe effectively and efficiently, and you're going to see the weight go up. You're going to see everything continue to grow and improve. We demonstrated the movement, of course. We mentioned that. But again, you have to understand the start position, the end position, and the movement pattern. So making sure that you perfect that movement is so critical for not only avoiding injury, but also for focusing on improving your mobility and flexibility. This includes mobility and flexibility at the hips, at the knees, and at the ankles. Again, not to mention back mobility and flexibility is important. A lot of times people have a hard time getting out of this rounded position. If you're having a hard time, you've got to work on pulling exercises to help strengthen these posterior chain muscles to help bring you more hair as opposed to hair. Then we had some application of light load and heavy load, where we went light, we went heavy, and just showed you that these same techniques can be used regardless of what kind of weight you're using. And the reality, we just got to make sure that we're safe in the gym. We all want to get better. We all want to make sure that we're improving, we're building muscle, we're burning fat, but safety is more important than anything else. Because if we get hurt and we can't perform, we can't progress. All right? So make sure you're safe, you apply these helpful, safe tips so you can really further along and progress throughout your deadlifts and your fitness journey in total. All right? Booyah. Thank you once again for joining us here at Oshode Health and Fitness, health, wellness, and fitness tips and resources. For up-to-the-minute posts and updates, please visit us at our website at www.oshodehealthandfitness.com. You can scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll be able to subscribe to our email list. Once you've done that, you can also click our YouTube link and also subscribe there. Again, we'd love to have you back. Look forward to having you back to learn more about the health, wellness, and fitness tips and things that can help you along your fitness journey. Thank you.